Any questions from anybody?
Yeah, when do we get paid?
Any real questions from anybody?
You see how he dodges this every time, just as like tax season's upon us.
You know, they never say that there's no such thing as stupid questions, but what you just asked me was a stupid question.
Happy New Year! Woo!
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! Welcome back to Season 2 of the Terran Charts. We are the Terran Charts, a bi-weekly podcast where we listen and analyze songs from the games we love, mostly Arknights, but with more to come in the near future. We are open to suggestions in our Discord server, so join now. But I am your host, Hanyu. I'm here with Zomni.
Hello.
I'm Goody.
Goody. And
Hi.
our special guest, Kino.
Hello.
So, Kino, how are you today? Thank you for coming on and tell us a bit about yourself.
Oh yeah, I'm doing well. So my name is Kino. I've been a music producer, for like 16 years now, since I was 12 and I'm 28 now. I started out making hip hop, but now I make more ambient and cinematic music. I've had some music in short films that have won awards. I've had music in TV shows up here in Canada. I just make a lot of instrumental music that has like heartfelt meaning behind it. So whether that's in a TV show or just something that I release myself, I think it's important to have music that like shows my passion and how I'm feeling when I was making it.
Ooh, okay.
Whoa,
Absolutely.
award-winning. That's crazy.
Award-winning, right? That's absolutely crazy. I'm actually really excited for this episode because there's not a lot of like music producers that we really know and get to really talk to about all the analytics and even just in general. So I'm excited to have you here. But before we get to analyzing some of these Arknights songs, have you played Arknights before?
I have not. All I know is it's a mobile gacha game. That's the only thing I know about it. So all this music is pretty new to me.
Okay. I do think that Hypergriffin Yostar, they do make some pretty big bangers within the game, and I'm sure that everyone here and people in chat will probably concur on most of those. Maybe that'll change your mind. But with that, let's get started. We're gonna kick it off with Misty Memory.
Oh, is it the time for the
It is
12th
time.
verse of the
For the
Terran
12th.
Charts?
Yeehaw!
It's not fair. I don't wanna have to wake up from this daydream. You're my daydream. It's not fair. I don't wanna have to wake up from this daydream. You're my daydream. Anywhere I go, I'll miss
Nice.
you.
So that was Misty Memory, performed by Zoe, composed by Eric Castro, David Lin, Elvin Shin, ZT, and Obadiah Brown Beach, depending on which version you're listening to, whether it's day, night, or acoustic. But Zomni Goody, tell us about a little bit about the lore and the event that surrounds this song.
You mean the current one, right?
Yeah, the one
the
where
one that
everybody
just-
hates the mechanics.
Well, I don't know too much about So Long Adele, but like this one specifically, I had issues trying to figure out like what's this in reference to, because it's talking about like essentially like a daydream between the singer in this case and with someone else. So, but the one thing that like really caught my eye with this was like home away from home. So is it like a longing for home or something similar to that? You have like this daydream and then like this person has someone special and they're like separated, and so they're like dreaming of the time when they would come back, having this connection with them. And I'm just like, I don't know who this is. Like, is it Adele? Who is she trying to connect with? Is it her home, the memories that she had? Because like it's called Misty Memory, right?
Yeah,
Like, is like her like coming back made her bring like the memories of old before her parents died. The whole event is surrounded around Adele, which is Ea Fiatla, and her story is that her parents are volcanologists, and they were studying a volcano, and then it blew up. The volcano like erupted.
Oh, it's so sad.
Hey, maybe the lyrics are about her parents.
It could be.
For those of you who never played Arknights, right? Misty Memory is the song that plays on the lobby theme of the event So Long Adele, which is literally playing right now. The event is happening right now.
Mhm.
Depending on what time it is on the server, it actually plays a different version. So we did say there's 3 versions of it, right?
Yep.
And, depending on the time, it will play either the day version, which is what we heard, right? Yeah. So the one we heard was the day version, and then right now, if you open up Arknights and then you just hop onto the lobby theme, it actually plays the night version, which is pretty nice, except for the fact that it is 11:14 a.m. for me, and it's playing the night version.
Yeah, I saw a meme how it's like backwards.
It's always the opposite for me. It's like I hear that day version on the reset of my time at 7 o'clock in the evening, and it plays the day version. Then when I wake up the next day, it starts playing the night version.
I heard the S stages for this was really tough
yeah,
too.
it was very painful.
Nah, they suck, bro.
They are really bad. I'm not sure if the acoustic version plays in the game itself. So, do you know? Or
No, it does
they don't,
not.
Right?
Yeah.
It does not. So the
Oh.
acoustic version is something you have to listen to outside of the game, which kind of sucks because I think that's the version that I like the most.
Yeah,
It's just super chill.
I'm
And
a
it's like you
sucker
can
for
sing over
instrumentals.
it. The reason why this event really just sucked for a lot of players because there's this mechanic where the enemies, they drop like this pink cloud, and if your operators are standing on them, which is the characters that you control, they take more damage, and the enemies take significantly reduced damage. And it's a real pain to keep switching the colors around, and
I couldn't really connect how this song relates. I mean, there probably is a connection, but I'm just not understanding it. I tried to at least like understand what the general premise of it, and it's obviously the singer in this case is missing somebody, so, and they're trying to daydream of a good time of whoever they're connecting with.
But what I'm really curious about is, what was your take as a person that hasn't like played Arknights with like no context, basically? What did you think of the song?
Yeah, honestly, I really enjoy it. Like I've been listening to it on loop like since Zup sent it over. Just like trying to find like nice little touches in it. I think my favorite part, I mean, the saxophone is amazing.
Yes.
But from a creative point of view, like I'm someone who, when I make music, I try and use non-conventional sounds as like musical sounds. So I really enjoyed when there was like a breakdown right before the chorus and you just hear like the ticking of the clock. I don't know if that was like in reference to like the words daydream. I know there's a day and night version of this. Maybe it was like in reference to like time passing because it's a misty memory. I don't know exactly what like that was used for, but I really liked the breakdown because like you don't expect it and then you just hear these like 4 ticks back and forth and then the chorus comes back in. So I really enjoyed that, like the creative use of that. The drum changes, so it goes from like groovy EDM and more like disco-y sounding at one point to the drums change to a more like hip hop vibe later on. And then like obviously during the saxophone solo, it's nice that there's still like a kick drum in the background. The other drums are kind of muted, which is really good. It lets the saxophone kind of creep through a little bit more. And then from a technical standpoint, I mean like the ambience from the harmonizing vocals is really nice. The mixing and mastering personally, I think is fantastic. The instruments are separated well. Nothing sounds muddy in the mix. And the vocals obviously are the main focus because it's a vocal track. I'm sure you guys were talking about instrumental versions. I'm sure in the instrumental versions, they're mixed and mastered differently. So the instruments can take up more space and like there's no vocals clashing with anything, obviously.
Yeah, the instrumental is it's the acoustic version. It was actually composed by a different composer at that time, but it was really impressive. Like I've had that on like the acoustic version, like on loop for myself, just to like when I'm trying to do productive things, where if I'm working on something or if I'm trying to do stuff around my apartment, I have that acoustic one going.
You mentioned, Zop, that this was the acoustic version's made by a different computer.
Yeah, so the acoustic
Obadiah
was
Brown Beach.
Obadiah Brown Beach, yeah.
That's why. Because what I noticed when listening to the acoustic was that the lyrics kind of didn't match up with the actual version. So I was like,
Yeah, they cut
wait.
out a bit of pieces.
They cut
from
out a
the-
bit. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
because I saw that when I was lining it up in FL Studio, that it wasn't a 1-for-1 copy. I think this is kind of interesting. The BPM matches for acoustic and the day version, but they've increased the BPM in the night version from like 105 to 115. What I kind of like between the three is they both cover like the same feel with some minor differences. Like the acoustic one covers like it's basically the day version for the vibe, just more relaxed. But the night one, it goes from like a dream pop in the day version to almost like a more synth wavy aspect with like the toms, and it even like starts off with a cassette tape. But I do like that they took that entire vibe, had also composed it around the scale that they chose. The scale that I saw that was matching the chords in the song was A flat Lydian mode, which has characteristics for like hopeful, dreamy, yearning, eternal. Like,
Yep.
I think that was nice. Yeah, I cheated a little bit because I have this plugin called Scalar 2, and that tells me what scale it's in. So
Yeah, I mean, like even like without listening to it from like what chord or what key it is, like you can kind of hear that it has like those like ethereal like undertones, and that's like it fits that scale.
it really does. And they every now and then they do a lot of high pass on the vocals to give it a little bit of that lo-fi feel, especially on some of the backing vocals. I really like what they've done overall. Like, just like you said, it's extremely clean. And some of the things that I noticed even more in the night version was they did a lot of like ear candy. And they also added a few instruments like the violin in the night version. I don't think I heard a violin or a string instrument in the day version, but I heard that in the night version. So that was kind of nice.
Is this the day version?
Yeah, this one's the day version.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't hear a violin in this one. I feel like when I was looking through the links earlier that I did hear a violin in one, but I don't think it was this one specifically.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think in this one, what I really like with the vocals, like the ambience when she's just singing is like her vocals stand out a lot and the harmonies stand out a lot because they low cut the other instruments. So all the drums and the instruments in the background, they low cut those. So what you were saying about it sounding like lo-fi was they have like, sorry, not low cut, they low pass all of those instruments. So those all sound like bassy and more muddy.
Yeah.
But it allows the vocals that are like, obviously female vocals are in the higher, like a higher register when you're EQing things. So those pop out a lot more because everything else is in the lower frequencies. And I like that a lot because obviously they wanted the vocals to stand out at that part specifically for them to do that. So artistically and technically, that's, I think, was a good choice.
Oh yeah. And in a lot of these songs like this is where EQing in that mixing and mastering stage is really important, because for something as clear as this, the moment you muddy it up, you'll probably end up losing the vibe that you're going for. And I think that would really like affect it in once you start like mastering, where it starts affecting the entire track as like a whole.
Yeah,
so I think
100%.
they've done a great job with this one, and the pannings that they've done on the night version, that really like was some ear candy to me. Which version did you like the most, Kino, out of the three?
They're honestly, like, I think it's hard to pick because I get like different vibes from each one. I do like this one. I think I like the violin a lot in the other version. I think you said the night one had the violin. The acoustic is obviously a whole different version as well. So like it's hard to pick between the three. But if I had to pick between day and night, I would say I like day as a whole better than night, but I do like the violin in night. So if that was in like the day version, then I think like day would be like a clear winner, in my opinion.
And I think Zop and Goody, you guys are on the acoustic train.
Yeah, I love the acoustic one.
Yeah.
I really like it a lot.
Yeah, out of the three, like I think the like what type of genre this is pop,
It's
right?
dream pop.
Yeah.
It's dream pop specifically because it's like so ambient.
Yeah, so like I'm not too big on the dream pop sort of thing. Like I don't mind it. And then the night version reminds me of like Sonic the Hedgehog, like Casino.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like stages. So that's what threw me back. I was like, oh crap. But I'm a huge sucker for instrumentals. For this song, Nothing Against You by 2.
It does have a bit of a more and more like retro vibe to it.
Yeah.
That much I'll say. I think for me personally, I probably also really like the acoustic version just because I feel like it's that perfect blend of soft acoustic guitar, and I could get about my day, drink my coffee while listening to the song, and I'd be fine the entire time. But what ratings would you guys give it? Let's start with you, Goody, and then we'll move to the right.
He on the chopping block first.
On the chopping block.
Last one to
this
show
is
up,
tough.
first one to rate.
You already
this
missed
is
your
the-
attendance points, man.
No, okay. At least I'm not paying for monthly cards this time. This one's tough. I don't know if I should give it a 5 or a 6 though. I really like the music. Maybe I'll go on the safe side. I'll give it a 5. Maybe there's just some. What is it lacking for me to give a 5? Is the question.
Alan Day.
Because no, I'm exposed. Maybe the event messed me up so bad that I gave it one less rate.
Adele already has enough issues, bro.
It's not. That's okay. No, okay. No, the event. It's not her fault. It's that sheep's fault. Okay. It's that sheep and that sheep's fault for like farting pink all over my screen.
I vowed to myself after this event was over, I was gonna eat lamb.
Oh, no. Okay. At least you're not eating.
Wait, lamb is goat. Wait, they're like the same, isn't
What?
it?
No.
Yeah,
Isn't
it's
I've never eaten lamb. I've never eaten lamb.
it's like it's like baby goat, and like goat is like, or lamb is like baby goat or something, and then there's like sheep meat, but it's basically the same.
Wait,
thing.
is sheep meat called different from lamb? Oh.
Yeah, sheep meat is mutton. Like mature sheep meat is mutton.
Oh, so that's what mutton is. I always assumed mutton was like anime meat.
No. If you have Indian food, like if you go to an Indian restaurant, it's usually mutton because they use like the matured meat.
Okay, that makes sense. You know, I'm gonna eat both lamb and mutton, no remorse. I'm done with this event. But,
okay, maybe Hanyu is the real maybe Hanyu is the real hater here. I'll give it a. I love you.
There you
I'm
go.
So sorry. I love Siesta. Whoa, yeah.
Wow,
Siesta.
Siesta.
Wow.
But going back to it, I think I'd also give it a 6. I really enjoyed the mix on this. It was extremely clean. I still find it really hard to give like most Arknight songs anything lower than a 5, honestly. I don't know if I can give it a 2. Yeah, a tree. I didn't say all of them. There's exceptions.
Yeah,
There's
there definitely is exceptions. Okay, so this one's gonna be kind of hard for me because I don't like the dream pop ones from the day and night versions, but I am a massive sucker for the acoustic version. Our ratings are supposed to be like kind of like a combination between all three. As a whole, like what do we think as between the day, night, and acoustic version? I just don't really vibe with the dream pop ones. They're really nice songs, but
okay.
the acoustic, if we were just playing just the acoustic version, that would instantly be a 6 for me. But because I'm not like a big fan of the dream pop, I'm gonna stick it with a 5.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm also thinking of 5. I like all 3 versions as like separate versions, but I think altogether, it's hard for me to give a 6 when there's 3 different versions. I guess there's just more to rate. If it was like one version, I can see like how Zop is saying, if there was one version Like if I get to pick my favorite of the three, then I'd give it a 6. But together as like all three of them, I would probably say a solid 5.
Yeah, they definitely do give off like very different vibes just from the day and the night one specifically. They're like almost practically in separate genres.
That's what makes it great, though, is that like it's the same song, but it has different feelings between each version. That takes a lot of skill, in my opinion.
It does.
I mean, the fact that all four of us gave it a 5 or a 6 is probably like pretty telling.
Yeah, though we might be a bit biased, but don't tell anybody about that.
Yeah, there's no bias here.
And for Adele, anything.
Except Goody, maybe he's biased.
For different reasons.
For different reasons.
He loves
You guys
Siesta.
don't know why. I love Siesta.
Siesta is the name of the place where this event takes place. There you go.
I love Siesta. You guys will know why.
Is it something to do with a Ceylon? A certain
love you,
character
Ceylon.
in the video game that looks
I
like
love you,
Lucina from Fire Emblem?
Oh? I love you, Lucina. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
But anyways, let's move on to the next song, Undertopia.
Let's do it! Woo!
Little pup, your head is in the sand. Your pads are strong, you stand. Clawing through, your chains are broken. Free is where your confidence is crowned. A queen of hills renowned. Nothing here can keep your heart in a tiny cage.
Okay, so that was Undertopia, performed by Moonless and composed by Adam Gubman. All right,
The GOAT.
Zop. Goody. He is the GOAT.
The
Tell us
goat,
a little
the
bit
Adam
about
Gubman.
the Adam
The Adam
Goatman.
Goatman.
The Adam Goatman. All right,
Please.
pop quiz.
Tell us-
Hanyu, which character is this?
Okay, Ozyamka.
Okay, good. You
I
passed.
didn't Google it.
I was just like, quick, can I do a Google image search real quick? And like, who is this character?
It's a good thing I have ChatGPT listening on the stream so it can answer for me.
Oh
No,
man.
Hanyu, you're wrong. It's a ditto.
No, stop. Man, I didn't know Lapland looks different.
So this is the leitmotif for Pozemka. Pozemka is a lupo, which is a wolf. There's a mention of like a baby wolf to run away from here. The backstory behind that is that Pozemka is from a noble family. So in Ursus, which think of it as like Russia in a way, her family was executed and she ended up having to flee. So as she was fleeing, she accidentally stumbled across Zeroetza, which is underground, you know, like that's where you end up finding her. You find her in Zeroetza with all the Durin. So she's the only non-dwarf person in Zeroetza. And because of what happened to her family getting executed like that, she's very suspicious of any like surface dwellers, essentially. In Zeroetza, everybody's living all, you know, peaceful and happy. They're living underground. There's no conflict. Everything is good. And so she spends her time there, essentially working as a marketing person or whatever. So it was all fine and dandy until, you know, Rhodes Island shows up, but you know, whatever. And so this song essentially like it ends up singing about like her strength and resolve as she essentially grows as a person. Even though she was like scared, it was like, little pup, your head is in the sand. Your pads are strong, you stand. Clawing through, your chains are broken. Free is where your confidence is crowned. And then even the way they personify her is like a queen of hills renowned. So she turns back into that type of like quote unquote nobility, where instead of being, for another analogy, as a wolf with her tail between her legs, she ends up, you know, becoming a more upstanding, I don't know, lupo in this case. So
Pozemka or Poziomka?
it depends.
A lot of people spelled Poziomka, like
Yeah.
with the Y instead, and then like suddenly localization happened, and now it's Pozemka, and now people are like, what do we call her now? And I think, pretty sure both names are okay. Oh, who else has like Russian, like Rosa, right? It's spelled as like Polka, but everyone calls her Rosa.
Mhm.
Who's gonna say Polka, right?
Polka.
but polka.
Don't forget everybody's favorite Exia, or Eusai, or Exusii.
Exuzie.
Exusie. There you go, Exusie.
Even a well-crafted gun will jam sometimes.
Oh my god, please.
I already called dibs on the most lucrative real estate in hell.
Oh
You
my God.
guys all get a share. Rest easy.
Cringe. But
You don't like hear it if she's on the JP dub, but the English one's like, oh my, no, please, no more.
It's because Japanese is based. Everything just sounds better in Japanese. Everything sounds better when it's not in English.
It's funny because you see like those merchandise they had where it just like has random English words.
Oh,
and it doesn't
yeah.
make any sense. So it's actually the opposite on there instead.
I mean, you're not wrong. When I was in Japan, I did see a girl. She was just walking around with this big shirt that said "stupid" on.
hold
And I'm
on.
just sitting there like, she has no idea what is written on her shirt, but this is okay because we do the exact same thing over here.
She lacks the critical information.
So I really like the clear vocals in this mix. It's pretty slow tempo, like 107 BPM, but I think it being at this tempo with the way that she sings this really adds to making it emotional and sentimental, which is what that B minor scale is typically used to derive. There was only one bit that I kind of had a issue personally with, and it's like around 311. It's like I think it's like right after the bridge. It's like the bridge is ramping down before it gets into the last bit. There's a kick in there, and that I feel like that kick is just really loud. What I was like looking at when I was looking at the waveform of the song was I was seeing how loud some of their kicks were, whether it was like, you know, the same volume level every time, or if it was varied, like kind of like how it would be if it was like on a real drum set. And I saw that they did use like varied velocities for that, but I feel like that kick at 311 was just a little bit too loud. But what about you, Kino?
Yeah, I mean, I like this. I like, from a creative point of view, it sounds like an emotional and passionate like ballad. I like the vocal ad libs throughout the track. I think it's a really nice touch and makes the track flow creatively. I think from like a technical point of view, like the one thing I really noticed was the beginning and the end of the track are very like, everything is kind of centered, like panning wise. So like the vocals, the drums and the all the instruments are all kind of centered, and I think they did that on purpose because over the course of the track, so the track starts, the vocals are really centered and they're not like, there's not really any harmonies. It's just like a main vocal track, and it makes the extent of the track in our minds kind of feel narrow from left to right, and that's not like a bad thing. It's just like direct, and that's all you hear, everything in sort of like one full swoop. And what I really like is like, the best way to explain that is kind of, if you imagine you're in a room, like you're in the center of a room, there's all four walls around you, and you hear all of the instruments. So you hear the drums are in the center, the vocals are also in the center. Every instrument is kind of bouncing off of the walls to fill the room. And then once the chorus comes in, there's these harmonies that come in. If you have headphones on, you hear them like on the left headphone and on the right headphone, like kind of opening up. And I like that because it's like the walls of this hypothetical room you're in, like you're still in the center and all the instruments are still in the center, but the vocals have now opened up the left and right walls rather, and it makes it fill in a lot more space than the beginning and the end of the track. And I think they did that on purpose, I would imagine, like creatively, because they want those like moments where it's more mellow and just the vocals and no harmonies to actually like be what vocals people are listening to, because it's probably like the more emotional parts. But I really like that. I think that's a really nice like touch technically to like build a track that way.
That was definitely the most interesting part for me, because it's really apparent that those vocals are like pretty hard left pan when they come on. Like it was like almost to a point where like I thought they'd also shifted the instruments to the right to kind of like give it a little bit of that dichotomy. But
I think they just did a lot of like mid-side EQing
Yeah.
because everything else seems to be in the mid, whereas like the vocals are really like boosted on the sides,
Yeah.
which is amazing. Like it makes the vocals stand out in a vocal track.
It really does. It really does. And you could really tell like the different layers and how smooth everything is in this. Like I didn't hear any like harsh tones or anything, because usually I think in like these like slower songs, like it's almost just as apparent if you don't take care of like any harshness that might come out. I'm pretty sure like it might show itself a little bit more apparent than, let's say, per se, a rock song where you probably already have like a good amount of distortion coming out, so you could kind of hide whatever harsh tones underneath all that. Even more so if you're doing any screaming.
Yeah, and stuff like this, I mean, it's really hard to hide like any sort of like imperfections in production, because like there's not many instruments in this. So if there was even like, I don't know, like a note that is one semitone off or like something that is like imperfect, like people would notice. Like even I didn't notice the kick drum like you did, but stuff like that you wouldn't notice in tracks that have maybe 20 instrument tracks. This has like very few, so it's really easy to notice like things that might be either a little bit too loud or a little bit too harsh to the ear.
It's also kind of like funny because like so when I was like analyzing it, I put Scalar 2 on it. For people that have used Scalar 2, you know that Scalar 2 has this notorious issue where when you put it on, it for whatever reason starts adding this weird effect that almost makes everything a little bit more reverby. And I was listening to it for like 20 minutes like that. I was like, oh man, I'm really digging this reverb. And then I was like, oh, Scalar 2 is on. Let me turn this on. And I was like, oh, this is a lot more clear than it's supposed to be. But even adding like a good amount of reverb on this, I think that really like made it shine for me. I just really liked it. It made it more ambient and like almost a little bit like more of a sentimental nostalgic feel.
Personally, I like the track how it is like this, but if they wanted to make like the track we listened to before this one that was more like ethereal, if there was like a more upbeat version of this, I think those harmonies would probably be like very reverb heavy as opposed to this one being like more raw.
Let's go from right to left this time.
Really like this. I think 5 again. Like there's a lot that I like about it, but I don't know. I think 6. I want to reserve 6 for maybe like something I really enjoy. I really like this, but I don't want to just like throw 6s out, because if I was gonna throw 6s out, then I would have given the first one of 6 and this one a 5. But I think these are both 5s in my opinion.
I kind of feel the same way as well. Like I usually reserve 6 for pretty much like has to get the hairs on my arms standing up sort of thing. Like have like that emotional feel to it. Like I really do like this song, especially honestly tragic backstory that Pozemka had and how she essentially grew stronger out of that experience. It's a slower track. There's nothing wrong with it being slower. It's just, I think it's good, but not 6 out of 6 good, but it's good. I do like the vocals for this track. I do like the pacing for this. And once I actually learned more about the backstory of the character, I'm just like, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to give this a 5 as well.
Okay, understandable. I think I probably throw out the most 6s here out of anybody from previous episodes, but this one definitely is a 5 for me. I think the kick was just a little bit too loud, and especially in that one bit. I think if that kick was just lowered, might be my personal taste, but I think if that kick was lowered, it probably would have been a 6 for me, coming from like the instrumental and mix perspective.
For me at least, it's a 5 as well for me. It's just the same reasoning as Zop, but I think like the two things that kind of ruined this, it like the things that ruined it for me are just silly. One is a mashup that just mashed this with
oh my god,
Ratatouille song.
Oh my god, he's being affected by mashups.
Oh, why the Ratatouille song?
And the other one is just the
the constant complaints from other people that I hang out with and how broken Poziomka is, and then we just get more broken operators all down the line, so it doesn't really matter. But it doesn't really. But it's just the same, really. I'm in the same boat as Zop, so yeah, like I said, it's just a 5 for me. I really like the vocals, but some people I talk to like actually don't think this song is that good. It's
interesting.
Kind of surprising for me. Yeah.
Yeah, because it does tell a really good story in terms of like, and then being able to capture like a story and tell about a character, especially their theme song, is kind of interesting. So like they said that it's not like the lyrics aren't that great. That's kind of surprising. Maybe they're just
maybe not the lyrics, but more so of like the song itself.
Instruments like all together, probably.
Yeah, all together. Maybe it's just not their preference.
Okay, yeah, I guess it's understandable because it is a slower song.
Yeah,
it's a definitely more
definitely
somber.
It feels like really slow.
Yeah,
just from the way it's. I know. I'm pretty sure like most people probably prefer more upbeat. Probably at least 120 BPM. 120 BPM is like pretty standard in around that range for a lot of music, but
yeah, but if you think about it, Hanyu, everyone loved the what was it? The Frost Nova song. Yeah, like Lullaby was a pretty slow song, is it not? And it's like a lot of people love that. And then the other one, the Requiem. I think it's called Requiem. The one with Requiem. Like Requiem and Lullaby are like songs that people like, but are also slow. And then like some people who do like those songs also, but don't like Undertopia as well. That's just a little bit.
Maybe it's because like they couldn't understand what they were saying in Requiem. Because I think the song, if I remember right, the song's like all in Russian.
It is, yeah.
Yes,
it sounds good on like all the syllables they hit. I will admit that they did a real good job with that one. I don't know what it says, but it sounds good.
I wonder if there's like a type of mindset where it's just like listening to your native language or a language that you essentially understand makes it sound like less interesting than if it was like from a foreign language.
I think there is like so I can understand Chinese for the most part, but I don't like the language because I think it sounds cringe. And same with like English for like a lot of things. Like maybe it's also because I've just grown up watching so much anime. I'm just like, dude, Japanese is so cool. And then actually going to Japan and talking in bad Japanglish.
And then getting punked to buy a Supreme jacket.
No, it was a neighborhood jacket. Is different. Supreme.
You still got punked.
Have nearly. It is what it is. She was pretty. That's all that matters. Anyways, before Zomni finishes his bottle of jalapeno tequila, let's move on to Break Through the Dome.
Break through this song cue.
Oh, yeah.
What is that? Oh, no.
Okay, so that was Break Through the Dome.
Ew, my act is so bad.
Good, you got a C.
Oh my god, my act is so bad. I got 80%, man.
Did you play with any modifiers?
No, that's just no. That's no mod. But that's it's a 4.9 star map. So
I don't remember.
God, I'm so washed.
Oh my god. But that was Break Through the Dome. By PMP Music. So what can you tell us about this song and the event that was around it?
It's the boss theme. So there's also a couple other things about it.
Yeah, it's the boss theme for the Ideal City event, which will actually rerun after So Long Adele rotates out in like what?
Somewhere
literally after,
probably Tuesday. So literally as soon as this one ends, like 6 hours later.
It just.
This
it swaps to Ideal City.
Yeah. It was also played in the MO as well after 350.
It's not a bad track like what Zop said. It's played during the boss fight of the Ideal City event, which is a literal flying drone, and then when you
when you break that drone, a midget comes out and starts running around the map. Yeah, but you break his drone and he starts like he drops down, he stuns himself, and he starts like running around like a headless chicken until he burns himself, or he runs into your blue box.
So
yeah,
he's like that
it's
other
pretty
boss, the big ugly thing with the toucan bird.
With the toucan bird, yeah, kinda. Actually, yeah, it is literally just a rehash, but just
Yeah,
with
right,
a deadlier, with a deadlier mech.
Which actually turns into a character that you can play.
Yeah, and he's not on fire.
And he's
Not
getting
on
a
fire.
skin in this
Hey, yo.
upcoming rerun.
But I'm
It's
not buying it.
Are you sure?
I mean,
No.
okay, so we can't really give much context other than where this song came from for this thing. So here's a little fun
Yeah.
fact. Did you know that Global will always try to make these summer events of, I think the wiki is calling them like carnival events or whatever. But these summer events are always going to be scheduled around the anniversary, which is January 16th. So no matter what, there will be a summer event around January 16th every year. And the way that they do that is they delay other events. So like on CN's side, for example, the Ideal City, this event, was supposed to rerun before we got the current event that we're in, So Long Adele. They did the same thing for Dossless Holiday, or for Ideal City itself. Like Dossless Holiday was supposed to rerun before Ideal City started, but because they were like, nah, we gotta make sure we always have the summer event, which is understandable, they delayed the Dossless Holiday rerun in order to have Ideal City start on time. And they'll keep doing that, so...
It was the ideal start
You'll
time.
start scheduling.
Grr.
I love summer and winter.
Yeah.
Summer in January.
I mean, if you could tell by the OSC, like the album art here, where it says Carnival in the Endless Summer, the actual like event in Global was called Ideal City Endless Carnival, because well, we're not in summer, we're in winter right now, so lol. But did you know that the groundhog was not afraid of his shadow if you live in America? Therefore, an early spring is coming. Okay, I'm done.
The song is it's a hardcore electronic future based genre. I'm not too terribly familiar in this area. As most of you know, I'm mainly like a alt rock, alt metal type of guy. I think the bass that they're using in here is a respace. I actually end up using a lot of respace in my own composing, and a bunch of synths for the main melodies. My favorite part is probably that piano solo that we're hearing right now. I really like that. It gives very like almost like a Japanese anime vibe. Like this could be an opening song, and that would like sit perfectly well in the back of my mind, giving me brain rot, and I'd probably listen to it just as much as me and Zomni were listening to like boomer anime medleys from Nico Nico Doga like 16 years ago.
Nico Nico Doga.
What I find kind of interesting in here is they make the downlifters. It's like that winding down sound, like psh, it's really apparent in this. But then again, it's also I think it's really apparent in like that dubstep type genre. But otherwise, usually like downlifters and risers, they're like really subtle in a lot of the songs that I listen to. So that was a bit of a interesting bits.
Yeah, I mean, like, this isn't personally like my kind of music, so like it's hard to really judge. I like the piano tone, and I like the synth tone. I think both really nice. I agree that like the piano, like that section where it was like just piano for a little bit, that's probably my favorite part as well. I think the bass is like too. I don't want to say aggressive. I don't think aggressive is the right word, but I feel like it doesn't complement the surrounding instruments that well. I think it's a little bit like
Too in your face, kind of.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's like too in your face, but I think that's like just like me personally thinking that. I don't think it's like anything wrong with the track, but I think that specifically is a little bit too in your face. And over the course of the track, I think the like lower mid end is a little bit muddy because of that bass.
Right.
But I do like the higher end, like the piano and the synth. I really do enjoy. But I do think it makes it a little bit muddy with that bass.
Yeah, I think it might be a little bit from because of also it's like the bass is also like layered with like the drums, and then the synths might also be hitting that low register too. So it's just a bunch of overlapping frequencies on frequencies. So like nothing's clear, or maybe it's just like a volume thing. Maybe it's just too loud in your face, so you can't really like hear the rest of it. But so this is also in like a D minor, for like serious, sad, emotional, sentimental. But I don't usually pay too much attention to like scales and their feelings. They're just there for like a rough vibe. Other than that, like you could write music in just about anything. I've written like sad songs in C major. My favorite scale is it's just the simplest thing with all white keys on the piano. I love that scale. But what did you guys think? 1 through 6. Goody, go.
4. Last time I heard it was on the actual event itself last year.
All right.
Oh yeah, it sounds alright. But it's nothing to write home about. Oh, what I like this. What I remember listening to on my of this song is there's an 8-bit version that was like that sounded pretty actually sounded pretty nice to listen.
Ooh, okay.
So if you have the time, you guys should like try to search it up. So that one sounded pretty nice. Still won't change my rating. I'll give it a. It's alright. It's an okay song. I
think I'm of the same mind. I'm also gonna give this one a 4. Just like Kino said, it does sounds a little bit muddy in that low end, probably because like there's so much like stacking going on. I think what could have like brought this score higher for me is if there was like vocals. I personally like hearing vocals in a song, and I think with something this sounding this like retro, I think they could really go off. But then again, it was a boss theme, so rather than like a leitmotif or even like a other main event theme, so I do understand why they went with the instrumental. But yeah, that's just me though. What about you, Zop?
Unless if you're IS-10.
IS-10.
Then you go hard. It's a 3. It's mid. I don't have anything else to say.
What? Renegade?
Yeah, I also want to say it's a 3. Like, I don't know if it's because like I personally just don't listen to this music that much, but I think it's a mixture of that and like the fact that it felt a little bit muddy, and the bass just even without it being muddy, the bass just doesn't feel like it complements the instruments that well, in my opinion. So it's a 3 for me.
All right.
And if we have to listen to this any longer, I'm gonna make it a 2 instead.
All right, quick, move on to the next one. All right, that was Ain't Seen Nothing Like This, performed by Zach Michaels, composed by Christian Adam Arza, Zach Michaels, Lauren Padman, and Aviella, and produced by Radcat. Tell us about Lynn and the Blue Tops. Goody, your favorite operators.
Blue Woman! I love Blue Woman!
You ain't seen nothing like this because the best operator is a blue woman holding a water gun, shooting her sticky liquid onto her enemies.
Or paintbrush now.
But
yeah,
it's a paint.
Skin.
The skill still says sticky liquid, okay?
Is that actually what it says?
Attack range expands. Attack, increase attack. Attack deals damage twice. Apply this unit's trait effect to all enemies within range and create a layer of sticky liquid.
That
attack range that lasts for 5 seconds.
That would explain why they get slowed.
So yes, this is a repeat from the first verse. This song is actually what inspired the first episode of this whole podcast series, because we were over at Anime Expo last year, and Radcat was there, and he presented a revised version of this song, and I really like that one a whole lot better than this one, but unfortunately, it's not available anywhere at the moment.
I'm still sad I missed
But
that.
we'll see. You missed
I know, and-
peak because I think you were like lined up for
I
a
was
signature or
getting
something.
autographs, yeah.
Yeah.
And some say to this
Oh,
day
well, you're
we're
lost,
still
nerd.
waiting for the song, the remix to drop on YouTube, but it just never has. I think
Yeah.
Radcat had mentioned that he was seeing if he could get permission to do it, but I guess they told him no.
You should message him and be like, "Hey, where's that remix at,
Bro, you ain't got time for nobody like me.
So the blue woman, her name is Chen. She's this is her alternate character, Chen the Holiday. And then the other rat girl that we saw in the music video was Lin Yusha. And so between those two, it's they have like this rivalry because they grew up together, but then Chen went off to a different country to go to university where Lin stayed behind in Lungmen. This song pretty much, like, the way it reads and stuff like that, it just makes it seem like even in this song they're taking their rivalry to the next level. But this is one of the global exclusives for Arknights. And like we've mentioned before, like global exclusives does go through DJ Lauren
Yep.
Padman. So something funny about this this event, Dustless Holiday. So the chips that were available in the store were specialist chips, but the welfare operator was a guard. That is the only time it's happened like that. So there's speculation that Mizuki would have been the welfare.
Really?
I read Dossless Holiday. I remember reading Dossless Holiday, and I'd never seen Mizuki until like just at one part of the story, and like at the end, and like he actually didn't play like any part on the story at all.
Yeah, he wasn't
Because
significant.
he was there, but
Just a cameo?
Yeah, kind
Yeah.
of some sort. He was part of the pretty much Dossless Holiday. Like most of the story took part in a competition, and most of it was just Chen and Lin just bickering to each other. But and like one of the participants was Mizuki, and like we only saw him like there, like participating.
Yeah, like twice.
Like twice, like once on like the start, and then once after at the end.
And now he's like super important for like the whole legacy of like the Seaborn. I'm just like,
Yeah,
oh man.
he's-
It's just that's just the
Talk about a
foreshadowing.
story. Yeah, story progression. We were gonna make him a welfare because he only appeared twice in the story.
But
We'll make him a. But
we could get more money from people. Goody. If
yeah, apparently he's a super popular character now.
yeah.
He got
does-
popular
kinda
because of Golden
insane.
Glow. I can't.
How
believe
many
this.
songs does Mizuki have that surround like him and his event? It's like 3 or 4, right?
I like even beyond that.
It's like,
just
yeah.
like the merch that is
Yeah.
available for him.
I would say it's because the other artist character Golden Glow is so
Mhm.
popular, and like
That's
the
also
artist
fair.
herself is also like, oh my god, my son and my daughter. Like
she definitely
She-
sold that.
she sold it so well, and like everyone just jumped in on that as well. And it makes sense for Mizuki to be as popular.
Kino, what do you think of this? I think this is one of my favorite songs in Arknights, but don't let that affect your opinion. Even if you hate it, it won't hurt me or my feelings.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. Like, I actually enjoy it quite a bit. I like how groovy the instrumental is. The slap bass is really nice. The end of the chorus has a really nice low pass filter that transitions.
Yes.
I think that was a nice little touch. From a technical point of view, like the only thing I can really point out that seems a little bit strange is that the vocals seem a little bit too pronounced in the mix. It kind of feels like they mixed the vocals as its own mix and then mixed the instrumental as its own. Like it feels like they're two separate
okay.
entities just kind of pasted like one over like on top of the next one instead of like mixing it cohesively as one track. I don't know if that was actually what they did, but it sounds like that. It sounds a little bit like separated from each other. But like that doesn't really like take away much from a rating or anything. Like I like the track. I couldn't unhear that once I heard it. Like that's all I could hear throughout the track.
Did you have like a specific like favorite part of the song? I know one of my favorite parts is definitely the chorus. The chorus is like hardly forgettable in this, like especially since they have like the crowd shouts. I think the crowd shouts are really what make this like chorus stand out, especially if they were to use it as kind of like a club song, which is kind of what they did at AX when they did it live, because you don't even have to know the words, but you know these crowd shouts because they're just super simple and super engaging for listeners. So that for me is probably my favorite part. And I think
I
it's
agree. Yeah, like the chorus as a whole, I think is really good. That transition from the first part of the the first half of the chorus to the second half, where it does that low pass filter. I really like that. I love the use of filtering out sounds as a creative avenue, like not just from a technical standpoint, like using it creatively. I really enjoy when songs do that. So that was probably my favorite part.
Oh yeah, and I really like thought this was really interesting. The did you hear the glissando sweep? It's like at the end. Yeah. For people that don't know, glissando is like, if you've ever like seen a pianist, it's like when they take their like hand and like go either up or down the entire like piano. That's basically the glissando sweep. I'm fairly certain they probably did that in like Serum or something in like with like an arpeggiator.
Yeah,
but
it didn't sound like a raw piano sound.
But I do like the vibes. Like, it's new disco, French house. These are even more vague genres for me, especially French house. I've never even heard of the term until like quite literally like 2 days ago. But I do think this song is an excellent example of like a short form song structure, because it's like what 2 minutes 30 seconds ish, somewhere around there.
Yeah. This is, I think, of all the ones we've heard, probably the most like radio friendly one.
Yeah. For today's day and age, the attention spans of people is intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, post-chorus, and rinse and repeat till the outro minus the verse.
Yep. Make it repetitive and make it less than 3 minutes and hook people.
But that's also like one of like the big things for a lot of these short songs. I feel like the shorter the song, the more the lyrics matter, because now you need to find something that's extremely infectious. Otherwise, like, people they'll listen to it once and then they probably won't come back to it if it's not infectious enough.
Yeah, I feel like the chorus has to be like basically half of the song when it's only 3 minutes long. Like, you have to kind of repeat it a few times to make some sort of memorable moment that people are going to keep singing and keep playing it over and over again.
Yep, because otherwise, like, they just won't. They'll just treat it just like any other normal song. Maybe put it in their playlist, or they don't. But I do think that's part of the interesting part, where it's like when you do have a chorus that like slaps hard, it just doesn't get tired for you. I know I've heard from a lot of people that listened to this song when it first came out. Everybody had it on repeat, and then they just overplayed it for themselves. But I don't think that's the case for me, though. How about you, Goody Zomni? Do you guys have a case of overplayed for this yet?
Yes, I think I've heard this song way too many times. So
Yeah.
But I definitely feel a little bit more attached to this song because like this is what started the Terran Charts.
It was a starter.
For me, though, what let me down for this song was the music video preview was like such a banger. Oh yeah, I'm gonna love this. And then I saw the actual music video. It's like, oh my god, the pacing of the music video is so bad.
Yeah, that's why I'm not having the music video on loop here.
No, stop. They tried their best.
The song itself was pretty good, and then like the music video is just, oh man, oh dude, nah, it ain't it, Chief. I'm sorry.
They tried their best. It could have, think about it this way. This paved the way for the current VTuber models that they hold during the live stream. Imagine if they had used real people for the music video for this one, just like during the live stream.
Fair, you make a good point.
It paved the way. I mean, some say if Dennis was in the music video, I might have enjoyed it even more.
Yeah. Intern Kun would have carried. Intern Kun in Chen Alter's in the Chen Alter cosplay. Oh yeah.
Oh my god, he would have just been walking down that street, not knowing a thing that's going on, and then he'd just get his face beat. But what do you guys think? Starting with Kino.
Honestly, like I was teetering on 6 for a little bit until I heard the vocals. Like that whole vocal thing I couldn't unhear. So I was like kind of like between 5 and 6, but then I heard the vocal thing and it's like really barely a 4 for me. Like I was gonna say 5, like almost guaranteed 5, but I'm gonna say 4.
Okay.
Hey, it is what it is.
Is what it is.
You ain't seen nothing like 4.
You ain't seen ratings like this.
No, all right.
Ratings like this.
Well, for me, actually, because I did overplay this, it would have also been a 4 here now. So I guess we'll go back. So because this was in the first verses when we were still doing letter grades, Goody gave it a B+, Hanyu gave it an S, I gave it an A-. I feel like it has decreased over time. I am still a fan more of the remix that Radcad make, but until that comes out, we're just stuck with this one. But I still feel attached to this song because this is the start of the Terran Charts, so for me it'll be a 5. I like the chorus itself, like it's still like one of those things where you might not know the lyrics, but you know when that hey comes in, and so that's what happened in
AX, yeah.
during the live concert at AX. So
I think I'm of the same mind. I originally, because I had rated it at an S, it would have been a 6, but I didn't even realize the separated vocals at first. But now that it's been mentioned, I can't unhear it now. So it's just kind of there sitting in the back of my brain. So I think this is also going to be a 5 for me, but that's okay. I'm also still waiting to hear the remix because I've only heard the low quality version that's been recorded on a phone, and that cannot possibly be doing me justice right now.
I'll give this one a 4. Like we all said, we just overheard it at this point. Oh wait, I guess a B+ is like around a 5/4. So I'll just give it a 4 again. So it didn't really change anything.
But without further ado, we have one more song.
I do have one thing to note.
Okay, one more.
Before
Okay.
we continue. So the music video was produced by Arknights, which is like a sub branch of Yostar Pictures.
Oh,
just keep that in mind for this next song that we're gonna play here.
So with that,
Y'all ready?
the final song is the final song. It's
Let's
time
go.
It's time for the final song. Unbreakable.
We've had our backs through thick and thin, and you've been there over and over again. No matter what tomorrow may bring, we'll stick together. We'll stick together.
So that was Unbreakable by Step. Is it pronounced Steppen?
Yeah, Steppen.
Performed by Emma Valentine and Heather Nickel. Composed by Zach Michaels and Lauren Padman. Produced by Mason Mullins and Lord Padman. From the label True Step Entertainment Yostar, which is, correct me if I'm wrong, Yostar sub-branch, right? Or is it... It might
sure
be
about-
another sub-branch.
Yeah, it might be a different label.
Yeah, I think it's another one of their sub-branches.
Depending on where they're at.
But,
because one of the labels that this is also under is under Yostar as well.
Yeah, so they probably just have their like fingers dipped into a bunch of different areas.
They didn't release the full like 3-minute video or not the 3-minute video, but like the 3-minute version on YouTube, unfortunately. It is on Spotify though, but this one is a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
Like almost by a full minute. So we're missing a couple verses. So just go listen to it on Spotify if you want to hear the rest of the song.
Wait, I thought they did upload the full version. It might be under the topic.
I've never seen
This
it yet.
music video is cute anyway.
Yeah,
True.
I've never seen this one yet, actually.
Wait, really?
The MV. Yeah, this is the first time I watched
Really?
it. I watched the...
Kyobi's so cute
I
in
watched
this.
the follow-up of this, which is the actual anniversary PV that was shown on the anniversary stream. Aww.
Kyobi, my favorite dumb doggo.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so you see the name Arcus in this one. So the reason why I mentioned it beforehand is because Arcus was the one who did the music video for the previous song that we did, Ain't Seen Nothing Like This. And then they did this one. So you can definitely see an improvement. And this is like 2 years separating them. You can see how they have improved a lot.
Like this one
Infinitely
feels
better.
really natural.
So like for the lyrics itself, like it's Amiya, the bunny girl, who is the CEO of Rhodes Island, which is the main company that we're dealing with, that we're working for essentially. She's trying to make plans for a 4th anniversary celebration, but she's having troubles brainstorming. So she asks all of these other operators who are around, which is Elysium, Kobe, and Golden Glow, and they come up with some ideas, and it's just not it. And then Calcit, oh yeah, and Exia as well. But then Calcit comes up and is like, no, just here you go, just do this. And so they're like, oh, this is the one. And they're like, oh, yay, we love this. So like the lyrics itself, just like, I think the Unbreakable part here is more of like a telling of enduring friendship, like a type of bond that these operators have. So they all live on the same land ship essentially, which is Rhodes Island, and living and working together. You know, you kind of have like that work relationship where I've personally experienced in my life where the people that I've worked with that I really like, we became good friends even outside of work. Even though like I've quit the company and moved on, I still keep in touch with them. So, because at the end of the day, this whole Rhodes Island is they're on a similar mission of finding the cure for Originium or rock cancer, essentially. And so that's kind of like the binding principle that they have and how they're experiencing it. Paramilitary pharmaceutical company, lol.
Hey, just like every shonen anime out there, there's no stronger weapon than friendship. You'll overcome anything,
including the S stages in this event.
No. Please, I'm gonna get handled.
No, that requires an uncle.
I still need to do them, so.
Can you do mine, please? Pretty please?
No.
I quit.
Pleading eyes emoji. Pleading.
He won't pay me. He won't do my stages for me. All he does is make fun of me for the way I pronounce Punkin's name.
Punkin.
Stop crying, Dennis.
I don't think that's very super pog. But this is one of the songs that I was like pretty excited to talk about, because this mix in particular like really like kind of like opened my eyes. So I'm gonna go through my analysis a little bit. I'm curious to see if Kino agrees with some of the things that I'll say. So I'll kind of start out. I think this was an extremely finely crafted like mix, because there's a lot of stuff going on, like viola strings with use like some complex melodies, the piano playing the staccato chords, guitar taking the lead. They also have like drums, claps, the sub, and one of my favorite things nowadays, hi-hat work. Because having a good hi-hat groove nowadays is like something that I'm like really listening to and applying to my own music. I think this is also like one of the perfect examples of why EQing is so important, because in a lot of cases for stuff like this, like your mids and possibly your high mids are probably gonna get really muddy in this particular one, because there's just so many things going on. Like you have specifically in those like frequency ranges, you have your strings, you have your piano, you have your guitar, and then on top of that, you have your vocals. There has to be I feel like there has to be some crazy like side chaining in this mix to really like bring it out. And for people that don't know, side chaining is a method that we use to like, it ducks frequencies, take a little bit of like volume out of one thing so that it could create a more cohesive mix.
Like the coffee machine in the beginning of this music video.
Yes, I love the coffee machine. That's arguably my favorite part.
So I think there is side chaining. I definitely hear it a little bit on the kick. It's very subtle. I think it might also be on the clap, which is used from time to time, which I think is used well here. I honestly, like, I don't want to be too harsh, but I think it has the same thing happening as the last one, where I kind of have a headcanon, a theory here, but I don't know if it's correct. I'm going to speculate and say that I think Arknights commissions the producer and commissions the songwriter separately, because what seems to be happening is I think they get the fully mixed and mastered instrumental from the producer, and then the fully mixed and mastered vocals from the vocalist, and they just like place them on top of each other and adjust volumes, which is not a bad thing per se, but is noticeable to someone who's worked in music for a long time, because when a track is like cohesively produced and mixed and mastered, like ideally you would want the producer to work directly with the vocalist, and then the producer to work directly with the mix and mastering engineer. Because when you work on that all together, you're able to actually, like, if the vocalist sent the vocals to the producer would have been able to like duck specific frequencies in the mix and then send it off to be mastered. But if they're just getting a fully produced instrumental and just placing the actual vocals on top, then you can actually hear the separation. I don't know if that's what's actually happening here, but it does feel the same as the last track for me, and I can't unhear it. Like when I get analytical about music, like there's things that I just can't unhear, and that's one of the things that I just can't unhear. And I don't know why I'm hearing it in both of these, but it's noticeable in this as well, in my opinion. But like that's not to say it's a bad song. Like I think it's a really good song. I like the low pass filter drums at the beginning, from a creative standpoint. The vocal tone is really nice. I think the vocalist did an amazing job. I think the producer did an amazing job. Like I think both the vocals and the instrumental are great. I think as a whole together in the song, I think something with the mix is off for me, and I think it's just that. I just don't know why that's happening. The lyrics I like as well. So from a creative standpoint, for me, it's like probably like a high 5. But the technical brings it down a little bit. So I think it's a good song. I can't unhear small things like that.
Okay, and this is why I love these conversations. When we have people here that can really like talk about the technical expertise, that just really like takes it home. All these different perspectives. That's what we're all here for. And as a music producer, I haven't been in the game too long, like maybe like 2 years. So I'm extreme greenhorn over here. But yeah, with that one, do we want to start off the ratings? Take us home, Goody.
Honestly, I like the vibes of the song, but it's just a little bit too short. Like at least the one that I listened to so far, and maybe I'll just give it a 4, I suppose.
A 4 for 4th anniversary.
Yeah, of course. I like the MV though. The MV is so much more cuter than the one earlier.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Like this. Anyways, how about you, Zop?
Oh, you're just gonna skip me like that?
Yeah.
Shut up, Dennis. I'm ducking your pay.
Duck my volume too, please. I'm gonna start screaming.
So fun fact about the singers that they got here. So Emma Ballantyne and Heather Nicole. Emma is the English VA for Amiya, Durin, and Swire.
Hey, yo.
Go. And then Heather is the English voice actor for Golden Glow. So I think there might be some truth in how they already had the instrumentals ready put in, and then they sent it to Step into like, okay, hey, why don't we get some of the English voice actors to do the singing, which really didn't happen before until like Christina V, essentially. Well, Christina V sang songs first and then became a EN voice actor. So now, essentially in this case, I feel like they're doing the same thing like how they're doing in JP, where they have the JP voice actors doing songs.
I do have a question.
I'm okay with it.
So do they have different like language versions of these songs? Like the same songs, different language versions?
I don't think so.
No. So this one is actually the global exclusive song.
Okay. No, because I was just asking because if there was, then it wouldn't like prove my theory, but like it would be more possible, because there's no way that the producer is going to work with every language vocalist. They're just going to get one producer, commission it, and then have all the vocalists do their parts and put it over top.
I don't think there was a song where they've done it in different languages, and this definitely didn't exist until 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2.5 weeks ago is when the song was actually released. Yeah. This is a global exclusive, so a lot of people can pick up on whether this is a global exclusive or not just solely by the fact that the producer is Lorne Padman. So that's the key. So for my rating, I don't know, like I do like the voice actors and I do like the singing, and I do like how the music video is. It's so hard. We want to, you know what? It's the 4th anniversary of Arknights Global, so 4
Oh my God.
for 4th anniversary.
Are we still skipping me?
All right, since we're skipping, we're still skipping Dennis. Your turn, Kino.
Honestly, I didn't even know it was 4th anniversary till you said that, but I had already kind of accepted that it was a 4 in my head as well. It's really hard for a producer who like mixes and masters his own stuff to look past that vocal stuff, in my opinion. This was the same one as the last track though. Like it was a 5 in my head until I heard the vocals, like the vocal separation, then it became a 4. So I mean, creatively, I think both this track and the last track were probably like pretty close to a 6. I would say like 5.5, but that vocal stuff brought it down to like a 4 for me. So this is also a 4.
Happy 4th anniversary.
I'll have to.
All right, Dennis, you can go now.
I'll have to concur and think that 4 is super pog for this. I originally was gonna give it a higher rating, but that's also because I had no idea about all the vocal separation stuff, so that kind of sounded fine to me until it was mentioned. Then I started hearing it a little bit, but that really just goes to speak to my inexperience with mixing and mastering for the most part. But I did think that was a very interesting theory that it was like mixed and mastered separately and then just like slapped on top with and now after like hearing that and putting all the pieces together, it really does almost feel like that was the case. I think you might be onto something, Detective Kino.
I mean, the only reason I say that is because like it does happen like pretty often with the, like, I don't want to say with these companies, like just in companies in general that like don't really think from a creative standpoint. Like it's from a business standpoint, right? So like they're like, how can we quickly do this with the least amount of hours we have to pay people? You commission them separately, they just send you their own final product, and then you just have someone in-house like place them over top of each other. Like, I'm not saying that's exactly what happened, it could be, but it does sound like that to me.
So with that, this song, we've given it the 4th anniversary treatment with the 4. And now it's time for the community poll.
I guess we could plug in the giveaway like while we're waiting for people to submit their final results.
We will be giving away the Amiya Seed Sower skin at the end of February. And to enter, all you need to do is to scan this QR code that you see on the screen, or click on the link in the description, or press !giveaway. Each person can enter the raffle with 3 entries for following the Terran Charts on Twitch and visiting us on the YouTube channel and joining our Discord server. An additional entry can be claimed by answering the question, what song should we rate on the next episode of the Terran Charts, on that same webpage. Get your entries in, get your chance to get the planter skin.
So as we have done in previous verses as well, Kino, you will have the honors of predicting what the community has rated.
I think the first one's gonna be like a 5.5. I'm gonna just like even it out between all of our 5s and 6s. The second one, like we were pretty consistent on 5. I want to say probably like 4.8 or 4.5. The third one is like all over the place, so I actually don't know what the community would say here. I'll say 4 for that one. 4. Ain't seen nothing like this. I'll say 4.5 again. The last one, I don't know. I think people in the community were saying, like, from when I was looking at chat, it seemed like people were agreeing with 4. So I want to say probably 4 for that as well. I'm probably way off. I'm probably way off. I know nothing about this game or this community, so
you might be closer than. We'll have to see.
Music is a universal language.
that is true.
But like us Americans, we're not even proficient in the English language.
You guys measure stuff in football fields and school buses.
Stop attacking me.
Thank God I'm Canadian then.
All right. For the first one,
Let's see it.
drum rolls. Dennis.
4.7.
See what I mean by like chat isn't proficient in the universal language of music?
I mean, haven't we known that for a while now?
Or,
That's true.
good take.
Good take. All right, on to the next.
Good take.
All right, drums, please, Dennis.
Oh, what?
4.7 again.
What in the world?
I can't believe
What
Undertopia
is-
is equal to.
All right,
so
which
long
one?
ago. I can't-
Which one of you guys is?
Which one of you
rigging
is
the
it?
chat?
Which
All
one
right,
of you is it?
Goody, is that you again?
No, I don't vote. I don't vote on the community poll. Hey, you?
He's cheating.
Yeah, you don't vote any. You don't vote anymore. You missed the word there.
This might be
I only
the
did it
closest
once,
I'll
okay?
get.
And I gave my honest.
Wait, wasn't that distinctly different from what you said on stream?
No, I'm gaslighting.
Oh,
Gaslighting.
I forget. Were we rating this song based off Goody's Osu skills or the song itself?
I mean, if we were rating it on that, I think it would be like a 2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was about to say.
I'm sorry, dude.
I can't play Osu. I'm so sorry. I can't even play the game. So.
I think Goody might have lied when he
Last
said he didn't
time-
have any mods. He was playing with no fail.
No, I wasn't. I failed this 8 times. You can look at my play history. I probably reset this map for 30.
Oh,
Was it 39 times? Wait, who came in and what? Somebody came in and swooped that 4.7 out of Misty Memory. All right, the stars have aligned
wait,
properly.
it went down.
Was that you? Who did this? You ain't seen ratings like this.
I'm gonna guess it's gonna have like a 4.0. Kino said 4.5, right? I'm gonna guess
Yeah,
it's a 4.0
I think so.
flat.
4 points, dude. That would have been the third 4.7.
Ain't no way!
The fact that it even got that high is just like, what?
No, I refuse.
Come on, man.
Who's the paid actor among you guys?
Somebody's mid, or multiple people are mid.
I just want to meet you. Oh, on the back
Yeah.
of Denny's.
The back of Denny's.
We're just gonna have a private chat.
Yeah, they
Private.
serve pancakes here. You're the pancake.
I can't fault them. I did rate it a 5, so whatever.
Uh-huh.
But I have a more sentimental reason for that. So come on.
I believe this. It's the Terran Charts special. We rate a song high, and then the community's just like, no, bro, it sucks. We rated 2 points lower, and then like the ones where we rated like mellow, it goes higher.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. They're just against us. It's biased. They know what our scores are.
Okay, so next time we actually like a song, like, oh my god, I love this song. It's amazing. It changed my life. I'll give it a 2.
Now, see that you're not lying because you say it changed your life. You didn't say it for the better or worse. Yeah, I mean,
It was
Renegade
life-changing.
changed my life too. But
Renegade-
whether
It
it's
also
in a,
changed the amount of memes
in
that
a
we're
good
getting.
way or a bad way, I'll let you
Renegade
figure
changed
that one
the
out.
standards of this channel, honestly.
Yeah. Renegade destroyed this channel.
Give it to me, doctor. What's the verdict?
Please don't say 4.7. I'm tired of seeing that number.
You're pregnant.
Huh?
What is this sandwich?
It really is a sandwich. Oh my god.
Chat,
This-
were you trying to like make a sandwich because you're
This
hungry or
one
something?
has
What's
to
going
be
on
rigged,
here?
dude? I can't believe
So we
this.
got-
Let me check the spread.
This looks like a quarter pounder from McDonald's. You got like you got the crusty buns, the 4.4 crusty buns, the 4.7 cheese, the 3.9 the 3.9 burger patty. I don't need to bite into the sandwich and the meat is big.
That's why the meat is 4.7.
Yeah.
That's why. That's why.
4.7's statistically above the middle, you know? It's not truly mid. All right. Well, with that, that's the end of the 12th verse, the end of the start of season 2. But it doesn't mean season 2 is over. In 2 weeks, we will have the 13th verse featuring Shui. But big thanks again to Kino for coming out tonight. It's been great. I really enjoyed these conversations with other music producers and hearing your insights on some of these songs and the analytics.
Oh yeah, thank you guys for having me. Honestly, it was really fun.
And we would love to have you back again sometime in the future. But we will see where the wind takes us. We are the Terran Charts, with hosts being me, myself, Hanyu, Goody, Zopni, video editors Mustima, MP4, and Strumer, graphics designer Ricer, thumbnail artist Vinobi, community team Lasat and Speedy, and special thanks to dokonjou, Fran, Nem, and Rumby. And thank you again for those of you who support us on Ko-Fi. Every penny goes towards the TTC, and we are forever thankful. So with that, we will see you guys around. And
07.
07.
07.
Mustima.mp4 on.
My bad. Mustima.mp3.
Mustima.wav.
Oh god.
I mean, technically,
At
WAV
least-
is
Don't worry, Mustima.
At least he's not a yeah.
I think Mustima is a MKV. He's a Matrusty.
Nah, it's a .mov. There you go.